Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, and welcome to the September 2025 Most Anticipated Reads list. All right, I have narrowed this down to 11 this time, but one of them I already read, so it will actually be 10 that I have to look forward to, and one that I'll tell you about today, but I'm going to do a wrap up about it later in the month. So these are a mixture. There's a memoir, there's some historical fiction, there's some mystery thrillers, there's some love stories, yeah, pretty much everything you can imagine, and some series as well. So the first one is the one that I read. It comes out first, and this was a NetGalley release for me. It's on September 9th is its release date, and this is The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer by Ragnar Jonasson, or Jonasson. I don't know. So this one is about a missing crime writer. Her name is Ellen, or Ellen, and she's missing. She's gone. She's taken off or something. They're not sure what happened to her. She has some friends there, and they're very connected and very close, but none of them know or have heard from her. None of them have notes. They can't reach her by phone. And so Helgi is hired to come in, or assigned to come in and try to figure out what happened to this woman. So of course he interviews all of her friends and those kinds of things too. And it's very well paced. I will say that Helgi's character has a situation in Death at the Sanatorium that ties into this one. You don't have to read Death at the Sanatorium first in order to enjoy this book. But I will say that I was glad that I had, actually. Well, I was surprised that this character came back, and I was like, oh. So again, it doesn't spoil anything for you, and it ends on kind of a cliffhanger. So I imagine that this is going to kind of keep going. But I really liked this one. I don't know why I didn't give it 5 stars now that I'm talking to you about it, because I really liked it, but I gave it 4. And maybe because Hulda was in this one too, from other books that I've read by this author. And that one, I wasn't sure why Hulda was there necessarily. So I don't know. Maybe it was just something I missed. I'm not sure. But I read it really, really fast, and I really devoured it. So if you like books that are set in that kind of Nordic noir genre, this one is a great one. And again, you don't have to read Death at the Sanatorium first, but I loved that book as well. So I've loved all of these. I mean, 4 stars is a love for me. So the next one, The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. This one comes out on September 9th as well. This is the 6th book of 6 in the Robert Langdon series. I was sad to see that on the site where I was looking. Do have to catch up to several of them before I can get onto this one, but I'm excited that there is another one. I loved the first several books in this series. I love him as a writer, really. He's very, very clever, and they're complex, but he's very, very good at what he does. This one, of course, has Robert Langdon back in it. He is headed to Prague, which I love. I spent some time in Prague for a work trip, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. So I'm excited about that. And he goes there to speak at a conference, and that's all I know, and that's all I plan to know, because I don't want any spoilers for the ones that I'm probably going to read, hopefully soon. So this one, it gets pretty good reviews so far, and I think if you love Dan Brown, I would pick it up. If you haven't read any Dan Brown, I would go back to the Da Vinci Code and start over, or watch the movie. They're pretty similar, but the book is always better. The next one is The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. This one comes out on September 16th. I had to smile when I was watching my friend Lee at Lee's Dark Creations the other day. Her video about the anticipated reads for September featured this one too, and I thought that's so funny. We both have very similar tastes, because we both thought this would be a good one. And I do think it will. I do plan to get this one or read it at some point, some way. But this one is about 6 people who go to London to honor or celebrate, it says, actually, the death of their ex-boss. And their ex-boss had hired them to work this dating site that was a bit of an experimental experience. And the dating site was based on psychological testing of people, not like their interests or where they live or, whether they have brown hair, blonde hair, or whatever. This is all about their psyche, which is probably one of the reasons why this next part of the synopsis is included. So they get to this place where they're all going to be to talk about this man's death and situations, and they're all held at gunpoint by someone who says that he will kill them if they don't reveal their deepest, darkest secrets. This sounds really intriguing to me, really suspenseful, really propulsive. I hope it's really good because I do plan to read it. Not read anything by Mark Edwards, but I think this sounds fantastic, and Lee did too. So maybe we will buddy read that, Lee. If you're watching, I would be open to that, but I may not get it for a bit. I can't buy any books in August for sure, so I can't really even pre-order it yet. Number 5 comes out on September 23rd. You notice we made a pretty big jump from the 16th to the 23rd. The rest of these are all coming out later in the month of September. The next one comes out on September 23rd, which is my birthday. I'm sure this author planned it that way. This is Janice Hallett's new title, which is called The Killer Question. I think Lee also talked about this one, which was on my list too. So again, we have very similar tastes. And she mentioned that there was one of Hallett's that she didn't like, and there's one that I haven't been able to finish, and that is the Twyford Code. We'll get back to it, but I was really struggling with that one. So I hope that this one is really, really good. So this is about two people who own a pub. Their names are Sue and Mal Eastwood, and they are, throwing these little trivia nights as most pub owners do. In fact, one of the pubs that we live nearby now has a book club that we haven't been to yet, but they have trivia nights too. So they have a trivia night, and their bar is called The Case is Altered, which is an interesting name for a bar. Nevertheless, there's a body that is found nearby, and of course now they're all like, oh my gosh, somebody was killed near us. But what's even harder for Sue and Mal, what's even harder is that they have these secrets, and they've kind of fled from where they were before to where they are now, and are probably trying to pose as, just happy pub owners, but their secrets might be revealed as well. So I don't know anything else about it except Janice Hallett is usually an author who writes in an epistolary fashion, but I don't know if this one is written that way or not, but I think it'll be fun. And I might try to get the UK cover for this one. We'll see. We'll see. I might order it from Blackwell's. Number 6 comes out on September 30th. So now we've jumped to September 30th. The Lost Story of Eva Fuentes by Chanel Cleeton. I have read Chanel Cleeton before, and I really like them. They are historical fiction. They're usually set in at least 2 different timelines with 2 different people. This one is 3 different people. So I have my notes from Goodreads here so that I can make sure I don't get this wrong. So it starts out with London in 2024. An expat is hired to find a book that's over 120 years old, and it's like very rare, and people want to have this book and own this book, and there's only one copy, and it says that she teams up with an unlikely ally, which is a person she was in a relationship before and they're not in a relationship anymore, and so I'm sure that maybe a love story shows up in that way. So that's Margot Reynolds' timeline. So then we have Pilar Castillo's timeline from Havana in 1966, and so this is obviously the Castro realm, and she's fighting the regime in her own way, but she comes into possession of a book that was published more than 60 years ago, and she has to decide how much she's willing to risk to protect that book that somebody entrusted to her, which is how the book goes to 1966. And so then we go to Boston 1990, where a character named Eva Fuentes, right? You were probably wondering what is Eva about? Eva has the opportunity to write a book. She also meets a man who's enigmatic and he alters the course of her life. And she's going to Harvard, and there are secrets and lies and forbidden love, and her life is irrevocably changed. So I love this cover. You guys, this is a luscious, beautiful cover. Chanel Cleaton writes very, very well. I've really enjoyed her. So this will probably be one that I get to for sure. Number 7, The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman is book number 5 in the Thursday Murder Club. This also comes out on September 30th. I don't want to know a whole lot about this, but I will say that because I have three or four to read now. Yeah. I will say that I really enjoyed the Thursday Murder Club. It is coming out as a mini series on the 28th of August. FYI, I cannot wait to watch it. And I have the others so far, so I'll likely get this one and add it to my stack by Richard Osman because I do enjoy the way he writes, and I'm sure he continues to write that way because everybody is, reading them and getting their hands on them. So they're very popular mystery thrillers. They're a little cozy, not completely cozy, but a little cozy. And yeah, these people that live in this place where they are kind of retiring and being taken care of a little bit are also solving murders. So we catch up with where they are, which I don't want to know too much about. And we, of course, watch them try to solve this next crime. So I can't wait for that. And I know a lot of people are anticipating that one too. The next one comes out on September 30th as well. This is The Librarians by Sherry Thomas. I have not read anything by this author, but I did add one of her Sherlock Holmes books to my want to read list. It's been out a while ago, but I love this cover. So this is about 3 women who work in a library, and this is a cozy mystery, so I thought this would be a good one to put into your hands as well. It's contemporary. So the library is set in Austin, Texas, and the first woman that they mention in the synopsis is Hazel, and she flees somewhere else to be with a football player that she hopes is the love of her life. And so from wherever else she lived, it says she was halfway around the world, so she must have been from somewhere completely different, maybe London as well. But anyway, she comes to be with this person and see if this is the love of her life. She thinks it is. And then there's Astrid, who's leaving, fled from her relationship and trying to stay away from this person who was not good for her. And she's concerned because he maybe is going to show back up in her life, which would be very, very scary for her, I think. And then Sophie has some secrets and she doesn't want people to know, so she stays a bit distant from these coworkers and just tries to immerse herself in her job and not get involved in any chit chat or anything like that. But she's really worried, I guess, that something's going to be revealed about her. Then they have this inaugural murder mystery night, game night, and they're very excited about it. They put this on, and so everybody shows up. The patrons show up. This is a little branch library, so it's probably in the middle of nowhere in Austin, but I love Austin, Texas, too, by the way. Anyway, that night, 2 people are dead, and so there's a problem there now that the librarians have to save the library and themselves and let go of some of the things they've been hanging on to in order to band together and solve this mystery. So it sounds really good to me. It might be a little funny, I'm not sure, but it definitely is one that I think I would like to read. I probably will see if my library gets it and borrow it from them, but it sounds good. So I'm excited to press it into your hands as well. All right, this one, beautiful, very interesting. Love the title. This is Dinner at the Night Library by Hika Harada, and it's translated by Philip Gabriel. This one is also expected to be published on the 30th of September. It is a whimsical, charming novel about a mysterious library in Tokyo that opens after dark and follows the employees who bond together with these stories and the special meals that are inspired by the books that are on the shelves. So it just sounds like a perfect book about books, but it has a little bit of magical realism to it as well. So it's only open from 7 p.m. to midnight. And it exclusively features stories, books by deceased authors, and nobody can check them out. So when they go into this library, they're in there to socialize and to be with each other. So it's kind of like people can go in, anybody can go in. It's kind of like a museum or something like that. It's really kind of crazy how this is billed. So Otoha, let me say that again. Otoha, I think it's Otoha Higuchi, is the newest employee, and Otoha has been recruited to work by somebody that is unknown. She's curious, but she's also excited. She likes this group of people. She is enjoying what she gets to do. She bonds over these colleagues. She loves the meals. It's all just working out really, really well. And then some weird things start to happen in the library, and they are possibly going to close it. And so they're reevaluating their relationship with work and what they want to do and what they love. It was actually first published in Tokyo in 2023. And so I think it's actually just out here in the US now, but I'm not sure. Even if this is a backlist book, I just wanted to press it into your hands because I just think it's so unique. And I would really love to read a book this year about that was set in Tokyo, because I don't read a lot of books that are set in Japan, not very often anyway. So I'm trying to broaden kind of the reach of my novel reading. And so, yeah, this sounds really, really good. So I guess it's kind of contemporary to some degree. It's definitely an adult title, and I love it. It doesn't have a lot of ratings yet on Goodreads. It only has a 3.34, so that is a little worrisome for me, but I still think I'm going to give it a go. The Killing Stones by Anne Cleeves. I love Anne Cleeves. And this one comes out on September 30th as well. And this is the Jimmy Perez and Willow Reeves series, book number 1. So Jimmy Perez is the detective in this particular case. And people have been really excited about this because Jimmy Perez comes back from the Shetland series. I have not read any of the Shetland series, so I have no idea about that one at all. But David Baldacci, who's not an author that I read a whole lot of, but he said it's worth every minute that you spend with this novel. So it's been years since this detective, Jimmy, left Shetland, and he's in a new home on a group of islands off the northern coast of Scotland. I do love the settings of these, and so that's one of the reasons why Anne Cleeves really appeals to me and why I'm pressing it forward today. So on a bad, stormy night, his friend Archie goes missing, and Ever, the detective, he immediately goes to this other island where he can try to solve the mystery of where his friend worked and lived and what happened to him. So there's a lot of correlation here with another one that we just talked about. But when he gets there, he discovers that Archie's body has been found on an archaeological dig site, and there's something in that archaeological dig that has actually carved something into the ground beside him, which is the murder weapon, but also it seems like it was premeditated, perhaps. So he's trying to be objective, but it's really hard for him because obviously this is his friend, and so he's worried about that. And he's known his friend Archie's wife for a long, long time, but there are rumors that his friend was having a relationship with somebody else on that island. So he really wants to find out everything that he can about his friend, and it just sounds like really, really good. And I wouldn't mind starting at series 1 with Anne Cleeves again because I really enjoyed and have enjoyed. I have one more to go on the, well, at least for now, on the Matthew Venn series. But yeah, I may not get to it right away. And the last one is a memoir. Out of the blue. This is called Truly, and this is a memoir by Lionel Richie, who I really, really love. So this one also comes out on the 30th of September. I don't have to tell you a whole lot about Lionel Richie. He's obviously a famous singer. He's now someone that I love watching on, is he on American Idol? I think so. I hadn't watched that in a little bit, but I used to watch it with him all the time. And he seems like a down to earth kind of guy to me, but I also kind of want to understand how he got into the music industry and how he partnered with some of the other people that he worked with, and just whatever he wants to tell us. I can't wait. I just can't tell you how. And again, I don't know these people in real life, so I have no idea how he is, but he really influenced my musical taste for a long, long time, and I love seeing him on American Idol and in other places. He just seems like an all-around nice guy. So I hope he really is in real life, and I can't wait to learn more about his life and what some of the things that he's been able to do and some of the things he's most proud of. So it's going to be a good reading month. And I know there's lots of other releases. I got to tell you, there's a ton of them. That's not, my problem was not that I couldn't find any more to talk about. It really was that I wanted to keep this fairly short for you. So thanks so much for watching today. Let me know in the comments below which one or ones of these you would like to read, or you think you would like to read, which of these authors are maybe favorites of yours. And, just talk about the books in whatever way you want to. And if you don't want to talk about the books and you want to just put an emoji in the comments below, I would say you could put a record album or a little boom box or something that's musical notes, that kind of thing. So we'll honor a little bit of the Lionel Richie ending here. So I would love to see your comments. I am going to try to catch up. Thanks again for all of your support. And as always, happy reading. Bye.